All right, gang, let's finish up page 3 of worksheet 1.2, use segments and congruence. The first question here, it says that we are going to use CUBIXS to solve the following problems. The following problems would be these questions right here, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Reading the question here, it says point J is between H and K on segment HK. Draw a diagram of the segment HK. Use the given information to write an equation in terms of x and solve the equation. Then find HJ and JK. Lots of steps in here, but if we use our CUBIXS strategy, it will help us get through. So the CUBIXS strategy, remember, is where we circle the numbers that we have in the problem. That will actually happen when we get to the questions down below. We will underline the work that needs to be done, the questions that are asked, and we will box the geometry words that help us set up the problem. So we're going to hold off on the circling. We're going to underline the question or what is asked of us to do. Generally, I start at the back and work my way forward because that's usually where the questions are. So in this problem, it asks us to find HJ and JK. It asks us to solve the equation. It asks us to actually write an equation, and it asks us to draw a diagram. So those are the 4 things that we have to do. We will box the geometry words that help us get this set up. And the one main word is that HJ or J is between H and K on segment HK. So I have a little line here, the start of my segment. It says that J has to be between H and K, so somewhere on this segment, we are going to put J, and it is between H and K, so we will put those at the ends. And do you see how we have segment addition getting started here? We have the left side, and we have the right side. These are my parts. And we have that equal to the whole segment HK. So we're going to set up an equation. We're going to write HJ plus JK equals HK. So like we did on page 2, let's circle our parts and underline our whole. So if I look here now at question number 25, it says HJ is 2x. JK is 3x, and KH is 25. So I'm going to go back and look at my picture. HJ is the part on the left. So that means I'm going to circle the 2x. Then it asks me, gives me information about JK, and I look up here at my equation, and JK is the other part. So I'm going to circle the 3x. And then it asks me, or gives me information about KH, which is 25. KH is the whole part at the end. That means I'm going to underline my 25. To set up the equation, we take the 2 parts, we add them together, and we equal that to 25. Then you're going to take and solve this problem. 2x plus 3x, like terms, makes 5x. 5x equals 25. Those are multiplied together, so we will divide out the 5, and we get x equals 5. The last part of the question asks us to go up here and find HJ and JK. So I'm going to take my 5, and I'm going to plug it into the problem. HJ is 2x, JK is 3x. So right here, I'm going to go 2 times 5, which gives me 10. And right here, I'm going to go 3 times 5 gives me 15. Remember, 5 is my x value. So I know that HJ is equal to 10 and JK is equal to 15. Notice when I add those together, 25 gives me the whole segment. I do want to just set up question 26. Notice that they talk about HJ. HJ is the part. We're going to circle that guy. And then it talks about KH. Be careful here. KH, I actually notice is the equal number. So I'm going to underline that. And then it talks about JK. And I go up and look at my equation. JK is the other part. It's on the left. So I will circle that. Notice we add the parts and we equal it to the whole thing. In this case, oops. Oh, sorry about that. In this case, the JK and the HJ are in different order, and notice that the 22 goes at the end. The one thing that does give people trouble is they notice that this divide by 4 looks a little intimidating. Remember that there's a 1 in front of the x, so 1 divided by 4 is just equal to the decimal of 0.25. So if you feel more comfortable, you can substitute in 0.25, and then from there, let your calculator help you with the fractions. At this point, pause your video, finish up the problems. We'll talk tomorrow in class. Have a great day.